Hello, Andre. Welcome to my final video. Let's get right into this. Okay, so first things first, going to demo the actual scene itself. So, I was going for an Indiana look, kind of midnight action kind of look for it. There are multiple lights in this scene. I'm using, obviously, the terrain, and a skybox, triangle, multiple crates, and a multi-mesh object down there. Okay, so let's jump right in. So yeah, you could see all of those things, and I hope it looked good. Let's take a look at our pre-made models. So I have the unit box, the textured unit box, and the unit pyramid and the textured unit pyramid. Actually got the faces wrong on those originally. That was a bit of a gaffe. Now let's look at the skybox. Skybox is just a textured box again, but this time it's flipped inward. So fairly simple. Next is the terrain model. Terrain model is a flat plane multiplied and then given new y values. So the primary loop for that is creates the vectors positions on the x, y, and z down here. Then it creates the normals for every vector and has a series of tests to check where it can look to get those normals. And then finally it wraps them all and turns them into their respective triangles and squares. That's kind of it for that. Now they do have wrapper classes now, so that it's easier to use. They're graphics objects. So we got a terrain object and a skybox object. So terrain object is extremely similar to the texture light graphics object, except it uses a terrain instead of a model. And the same is said for skybox, except one noticeable difference is that in the graphics object textures and colors, here in the texture we have multi-mesh capabilities, and over in the light, multi-mesh capabilities, as you saw demoed earlier. Okay. Next, let's look at the shaders. So here's color light. This is the thing that you had given us. And then the big one, color texture light, which is now designed to work with multiple lights. So you can see multiple lights, and they are calculated right down here. Let's go down into their shader and see how that's set up. So what I had to do for that is I had to get an array of point lights and the parameters needed an array of point light data. And that gets set like kind of like the texture does, where you tell it which light is which, and it sets the corresponding light to the correct thing. Graphics objects, like Oh yeah, there is one graphics object for every shader type. So color, color light, texture, texture light, and then there's skybox and terrain, which are special and operate off of texture light. So yes, the mirror. Hold on one second while I get that. Or I can't pause this, can I? All right. So the mirror, I wasn't able to incorporate that into my final project, but here it is. It reflects lights, the lights that they have. Let's demo this. While that's demoing, while that's loading, there it is. So you can see the lights change. There are different shades on this cube inside of that light. So let's take a look at where that happens. Boop. So up here, first step. Oh yeah, and for clarification, this is using, hold on. Yes, so the shader is a color light of type color light. So yes, it switches it around, and you have to flip around the lights as well. And that's the trick to getting the lights to work, the lights and textures, is you have to flip them around. Anyways, finally the DX app has changed. So I've added a bunch of objects because that's how I rendered my scene. But take a look at this. In a demo, it's just a bunch of initialization, much more readable than before. None of those unnecessary things. Down here in draw scene, it's basically just a bunch of renders being called. So yes, these have been streamlined significantly. Well, alright, that's about it. That's about everything that I have to talk about now. Oh, wait. So yes, that's all I have. Multi-camera scene, or multi-lit scene, multiple objects, all being drawn correctly. And I believe that that's all I have for you. Thank you for your time.